Good morning and welcome to the final edition of Northport, The View from Here. Our community outreach, what is your full title?
Community Outreach Manager.
Okay, Erin Bryce is our guest today, and she's going to give us some information on where you can go for information about the city and what you need to know to survive the ordeals ahead. So, Erin, welcome, and give people a rundown on who you are, where you come from, and your major achievements in life.
Oh, well, Gene, it's really interesting to be sitting in front of you when, as you know, I've been doing for the last year the first half of the show, and then you've been following with the second half of the show, and we've been sharing. And even before that, when I started with the city in 2007, you and I have worked very closely on the production of the show. All throughout, and there were times where you were sick and I would fill in, and I would always pray you would come back because it was never really right to fill your shoes. So it is really exciting to be in front of you today, and kind of bittersweet because it is the finale of the show, and we're all sort of sad about that because the show has been great. It's been a great run.
Well, thank you for pulling me through with your prayers. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you mentioned, I am the Community Outreach Manager with the City of Northport, and it's my role in the city to try and connect residents to what's important about their city and to tell them about what's going on in their city. And we do that in a number of ways. So while the show may be ending, there are other ways in which residents can find out about what's happening in Northport. We have a quarterly newsletter, Northport Currents, which is sent to every single home inside the city of Northport and business inside the city of Northport quarterly. So we're always putting news stories in there that are of importance. We also have a monthly newsletter that we distribute through the Northport Sun, which is one of our local newspapers. The monthly newsletter is usually issued the fourth Wednesday of every month. And it
came this week.
Did it? It did, yes, absolutely. And so it also is handed out just single copy throughout the community as well. So people can usually find it at the Northport Library, at any of the city rec centers. Sometimes they can find it in City Hall. It goes pretty quick off the shelf, but we are excited about that piece as well. But one of the most important pieces also that we do is our city's website. The city staff works very, very hard to put constant news updates up on the city's site. We average 2 to 3 news stories a day about things that are happening. We issue all of our media releases through our website as well, so the public is seeing the things that we're telling our media. We work very closely with media, ABC7, SNN6, Herald Tribune, Northport Sun, Northport Magazine, some of our local media, as well as some of our regional media too. So we have very strong partnerships with media, but we work very hard to tell Northport residents what we do. All of our departments have amazing customer service staff. You can call the city at any time during the workday, and our staff works very hard to answer customers' questions and be able to make sure people have a really pleasant experience working with the city. All of our departments also have brochures that we produce, so we also are in print business too, and try to get the brochures out there as well. We do a city service guide, and so those are just some of the major ways that residents can find out about their community.
Okay. Well, I know you're a busy girl because I receive emails from you at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And my computer goes ding, and I said, oh, there's Erin. But anyway, we appreciate your. What other things does your particular department do? The Department of One.
Absolutely, the Department of One. Sometimes I'm lucky enough to find an intern, and we bring in interns. And I do share a staff assistant with the rest of the city manager's office. So I do have some help. And then I have point people in each of the departments that I work with, too, to help tell Northport's story. But that's my goal, is to tell Northport's story. So I do oversee a lot of the communications that comes out of the city of Northport. Some of the other activities that I do, we run information tables at local events. So I help coordinate that. So if there's a local event that an organization is hosting inside the city and they want to have, a city agent, one of our departments have an information table, we can absolutely provide that. They can contact me. I mentioned how we work very closely with local media. So I'm a media rep, I'm a PIO for the city, so I work a lot with the media. But then we also have, I also host Northport Newcomer Day. My division works very closely with the Chamber of Commerce and the Northport Library, and 4 times a year we have Newcomer Day, which is designed to tell Northport residents about their community and connect people, which is always very exciting. And then in addition to that, I also reach out to visitors.
Okay, tell us about the visitor outreach program.
Well, the visitor outreach program, we recognize at the city that visitors are the first step in the door. Some visitors become residents. Some visitors become future business owners inside the city. And so we understand that visitors and visitor outreach is a form of economic development. It ends up benefiting us in the long run. And so the city is very active in helping to attract visitors here. One of our number one type of visitor is visiting friends and family. We as a community with a median age of 40, more than 10,000 school children, we have a lot of young families who have friends and family who come and visit them. In beautiful Southwest Florida, we're 20 minutes from the beach. We have some of the most amazing eco-tourism natural trail system here, and we have a lot to offer the visitor. And so, but it's the visiting friendly friends and families. So we do a lot of our outreach both through an organization called Visit Florida, which is the state of Florida's tourism arm. We work very closely with the Convention and Visitors Bureau in Sarasota County. We also, which is now called, I think, Visit Sarasota is the name of the organization now. They've changed their name. But we also do a lot of, my office also does a lot of visitor-focused brochures. So, for instance, this fall and spring, I'm working on a new update to the canoe and kayak guide for the city of Northport, because that's something that is something visitors and residents and business owners can really enjoy. So.
Okay. Over the past few years, we've had a lot more city events for the residents in the mall in front of the city hall and things like that. Is that part of your department, or are you involved in that at all?
I am. I'm a point person for that. I work very closely with our Neighborhood Development Services Department. They oversee the special event permit process. And so we do have a special event permit process in which one of our staff members literally is a teammate for an event planner and can help walk through the process of making sure that there are barricades, making sure that there are trash receptacles, making sure that the event is safe for everybody. And so we are very excited about events that happen in the city, and my office does play a role in that, in helping coordinate that and making sure that that person is connected to our neighborhood development services. But in addition, we also will sponsor as a media sponsor for some of these events too, where we try and get the word out about these events that are happening in the city. It's all about creating a common sense of community pride. We want Northport residents to be very proud of where they live, and we feel like if they're proud of where they live, we've really sort of achieved that high quality of life that we're all after.
And believe me, we all appreciate that. I think the tables are going to turn, and you're going to start questioning me.
I am.
And I hope I'm up to it.
I think you are. Well, you know that it has been invaluable working with you over the last few years, and you have been the host of this show for how long? How long?
I wouldn't swear in a court of law, but I think since 1999. So you're younger than I am. Do the arithmetic.
Yeah, absolutely.
You tell me. It's a long time, and it's been most enjoyable. I mean, it's otherwise I wouldn't do it. And the reason I do it is that I love Northport. Always have. Been here since 1972. Done an awful lot of things. Raised 3 children here. Saw that we were disenfranchised and wanted to get involved, and so it just grew from that feeling, and growing up and starting off in New York, out in Long Island, we were married before we came here, and we had our children there, but you couldn't get involved. You know, I went to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. I came home. Lorraine, my wife, went to work when I got home. And so I watched the kids and fell asleep on the floor until she got home again. And so that was our life. It was very, very busy, very active, 3 young kids, and 1 cat. You know, that was she always used to sleep with me on the floor. That's anecdotal. Anyway, the most exciting thing was watching the transition from, 15, 20 years ago, I don't know, up through, today, the end of the program, from the beginning of the program to here, to really sit and watch and be part of seeing all the new people and interviewing all the new people as they came in. After we introduce you, we ask you where you come from. Not many people come from around here. So we'll start off with you, Shella. Where are you from? Where are your roots? What have you done before? And
how did I end up in Sarasota?
That's right. And so this is your opportunity to shine.
Well, I'll give you a brief introduction because I don't want to take up the whole 30 minutes, and I could easily do that because I probably had at least 30 jobs in the last 30 years.
What are you trying to say?
No. Always voluntary.
But really were very scant on personnel in the city years ago. And it wasn't until the 80s and 90s that there was ample money in the Treasury and the need to grow because people were growing. And so to see that growth and to participate in it and really get on the inside of it, if you will, it's exciting. Welcome to Northport Presents A View from Here. My name is Gene Matthews and I'll be your host today. We're featuring 4 of our city commissioners this week in this segment. And they'll be answering questions as to the future and the past of Northport, along with Paul Caskey, our city manager. Commissioner Fink was unable to be with us today, so he's asked me to extend his apologies to you for not being able to appear. The show is going to be in 3 segments. The first segment will be to cover events of 1998. The second one will be an opportunity for our 2 new commissioners to give us a vision, or their vision, of what they see in Northport for the future. And the third segment will be a futuristic view, if you will, of Northport as how what's going on now will affect us in the near term and in the long term. So we're going to start out with Commissioner Roy Hall. And Commissioner, 1998 has come and it is almost gone. And if you could just give us a rundown of things that the city has accomplished during that time, and even those things that were not accomplished, so for our viewing audience.
Well, I think 1998 is a very exciting year for the city of Northport. We built a new fire station. We've opened up the George D. Mullen Activity Center. We have a 18-hole golf course. I should say 19 because I spend more time on a 19th hole. But we have a beautiful 18-hole golf course that Bobcat Trail has opened up. They're just moving along with fantastic progress for the city of Northport. So I think it's been a very exciting year for the city of Northport.
The show has changed. The show has morphed since you first started out too. Tell me about the changes in the show.
Well, we were what, a half-hour format before. Now we're cut down, to 15 and 15, which is good because you have a greater insight into the small individual activities that go on here. I guess we covered the broader scope of the activities of the city. But it's been, it's been a ride. It's been an exciting ride, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
I can tell you the thought behind that 15 and 15 was to be able to tell more of the city's news in a lot of just little tiny clips. Mm-hmm. But still, we wanted that 15-minute sit-down with Gene Matthews because it was that opportunity to get a little bit more in-depth, a little bit more It's almost though, and I'm going to make you blush on camera, but it's almost as though you are the Charlie Rose of Northport.
Charlie Rose,
you are. It's people can get really involved in the interviews.
Not the
that
Pete
you
Rose
have.
or
And it's Charlie.
Charlie.
Rose.
No, but there's another guy.
Yeah, if we would have factored in the mutual aid during all those forest fires, that would have been a big line item on your budget.
Yes.
You know, every time I see you two folks, I want to stand up and salute. I don't know why it is.
This is actually, all these piss are made by our local artist right here in Northport.
Wow. Looks
And
like
they're
a
not
lot
as
of work.
delicate as they look.
Looks like a lot of work to me. I don't know.
Yeah, they are.
It really is. It really is.
Okay. And how do you use that? Except
They're decorative,
Just
strictly decorative.
table decorations
Yeah.
and things. You don't put them out in the woods and let the kids go out.
Oh, no, no,
Hunt-
no.
hunting
They're
for them?
too precious.
Quality of life. And it's not only providing water and sewer, police and fire protection, it's also the issue of good quality of life for our citizens.
Yeah, I agree with you. Quality of life is very important in today's world. It's all, what was it, all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy.
That's exactly right.
Well, I think a little bit of the arts probably would help us all out. What is that going to mean for the city as a whole?
It's going to create a real commercial center of Northport. I mean, I'm looking forward to it personally because I'll be able to work in my office, and then when I have my 5-minute coffee break, walk across the street, and hopefully there'll be a high-class coffee shop to have a real cup of coffee, which is what I've been looking forward to Northport since I've been here.
That's been your job number one,
That's my
right?
job number one, is to do that.
Yeah,
And
I'll go along with that.
Exactly.
It saves me from driving to Venice or
definitely.
Port Charlotte to get one.
So it's always been really exciting to listen to the show and watch the show, but then listen to the conversation and see you connect with city staff over the years as a viewer.
Yeah. There's so much going on in this city. And the beauty of the city is that if you come down here and retire, you want to sit down and relax, enjoy the weather and the climate and the community itself and what it offers you, Morgan Center now and other things. You can do that. But if you want to get out and work in the community, you can do that too. And most people, when they were working up north, couldn't do it. Couldn't work that way. So you can now satisfy maybe an urge that you had before to get out and help people, because there are a lot of people, even in good times, that need help.
First, I want to comment on your tie. You dressed for the Ukrainian occasion, probably without even knowing it. Those are Ukrainian colors, blue and yellow, the Ukrainian national flag.
Well, you brought attention to it. I have to say that that's a Boys and Girls Club tie. So I'm going to get a plug in for the Boys and Girls Club.
Yay.
If anyone out there wants to support us and the Boys and Girls Club, you feel free to contact them. But anyway, we digress.
That's okay.
It's just amazing from my perspective. I've been here for a little over 30 years, and we had hardly enough to form a baseball, Babe Ruth, not Babe Ruth, but what's the Little League? Little League. Boy, I'll tell you, it's too close to Christmas. I'm getting nervous. Little League, and to see it today, all the kids and everyone and all the men and the volunteers and women that are out there volunteering to keep these kids going, it's just wonderful to see.
So there's always something to do.
Absolutely. There is a lot of things to do, and there's a lot of organizations that people can get involved in the city to really make a difference and shape the future of Northport and shape the community, which is why I think it's just so exciting to be here in a young city, in a vibrant city where people really make a difference.
Another example is the Boys and Girls Club is putting on a new expansion of their facility. Also, as just recently happened, the city built and opened the skate park, which is certainly for the younger generation. And the city is...
You wouldn't catch me there.
Me either, Gene.
One of the funniest things that happened, interviewing city commissioners and things like that. Well, we were interviewing one, and this particular individual, who will remain unnamed, was a very Gabby type. He talked up in that dais. I got him here, and the best I got was yes/no answers. He would not talk.
Oh, that's funny.
So that was my most difficult interview, if you will, and And but boy, it was a real change.
Do you have any? What was your most interesting interview that you had? Do you have any that stick out?
Oh boy! You know, when we started out with dealing not only with the city, but the private organizations outside, Boys and Girls Club, the Art Center, and the music over at the high school, and things like that. And I think that was exciting because that showed real growth. You know, they were really just nubs when they started, just small little things. And all of a sudden they've blossomed out over the years into tremendous organizations and popularity within the community, especially the Art Center and the concert series over at the school. And all the clubs and additions of, things like, Boys and Girls Club, YMCA, Morgan Center. These are milestones, at least in this community.
Absolutely. So, Jean, I just want to personally thank you so much. It's been great to work with you over the years. I didn't know if you had any last comments about the show or last things you wanted to say to the audience.
Well, it's really tough to say because to sum it all up after all these years of doing it, it has been, for me, monumental. Has kept me involved in the day-by-day accounting of the city offices, and as a result, I learned an awful lot, met a lot of great people, heard and seen an awful lot of positive things, a few negatives, but you can't go through life without hitting a few negatives here and there. But overall, I just see positive growth. I feel that the best is yet to come, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I never thought I would live to see it come this far in such a short time, the past 5 years, 10 years. So that's my swan song.
Wow.
I've enjoyed it every minute, and I thank you.
Well, Jean, I'm going to let you say the final farewell.
How do I do this without? I have a sense of humor that's sometimes a little obtuse, so I won't use the sense of humor. I'll just say thank you. It's been a great ride, and good luck to everyone.